What's going on, guys? It is the Lone Courier here today, and I am here to talk to you guys about Mad Max the game. So, Mad Max the game, it's not my personal favourite game ever. I'm going to admit that it's not the best game, and it isn't the game I expected it to be. But however, it's an okay game, and I kind of like it in a way. But yeah, Mad Max, it came out well over last year. It's like October or... No, wait, it was either August or September this game came out. I think it was possibly I think it was August. No, it's September actually. Yeah, Mad Max came out on the 1st of September, and it's had a few DLCs so far. I think there's like PlayStation exclusive stuff so far. You know, there's some customization for your vehicle, but the Xbox One also got the Ripper DLC, which is basically a car body, and that's it. But yeah, in terms of DLC for Mad Max, there's been none so far. You know, there's only been the micro DLCs, but there hasn't been any big, game-changing DLC. You know, like there hasn't been any like game additions. You know, like map pack. Well, it wouldn't be a map pack. That's Call of Duty. It would be like, this is a hard one to say, but it would be like, you know, maybe expanded story missions, something like that, you know, just that changes the game. It adds more content to the game, you know, it's not car bodies or anything, this is like missions, you know. So I think it'd be pretty cool if that would happen, because Mad Max, it's a pretty hollow game. I mean, I've played a lot of it, I have finished it, I've got over 3 days into the game so far. I've obviously finished the main story arc, and I've done most of the quests that there is to do in this game. And I find this game, after you finish the main story, it turns extremely hollow extremely quickly. Now the thing is with this game, it's obviously, due to the nature of the game, it's not going to be as expansive as like Fallout 3, Fallout 4, or Fallout New Vegas. But I think this game suffers from a lack of missions that are interesting, because this game, a lot of the missions that there is are just copy and paste, and most of them involve going into camps and killing the leader of the camp, and they're all copy and pasted. You know, maybe they have different weapons, maybe they come at you a different way, but they're the same voice actors, they're the same character models, it's the same camp models basically. You know, everything is a lot of copy and paste. So, in my opinion, if they added in some more DLC, you know, maybe some Mel Gibson style Road Warrior DLC, it would be fucking awesome, because I am such a huge Mad Max fan. Like, you can't even comprehend how big a fucking fan I am of Mad Max. I've watched the Road Warrior at least 30 times, like, in the last, like, few months. It's one of my most favourite films ever, and it's just one of my most favourite series ever. You know, like, I love the original Mad Max movie, then the Road Warrior was fucking unbelievable. You know, Mad Max, it's such a huge series. It's went on to inspire so many post-apocalyptic games, movies, whatever it is that's post-apocalyptic. It's probably got some Mad Max influence in there. You know, when it comes to Fallout, Fallout is extremely influenced by Mad Max. All you need to do is just look at the posters from from Fallout 3, and you can tell that the influence from Mad Max is deeply seated inside Fallout. You know, there's the original references to like Mad Max in the original Fallout. There's the leather jacket that you can find, and if you put on the leather jacket, some dog will start following you around, which is a huge reference to obviously the Road Warrior, where Max has his little dog that goes around with him. And I just think that for as big a game that's like, you know, it's changed so many things, you know, as for how big like a series it is, you know, like a game shouldn't have this little amount of content, you know, like, and as well as the fact that it was is either published or developed. I think it was developed by Avalanche, maybe a different team than Just Cause, but it's published by Warner Brothers Games. Now, if you know anything about Warner Brothers, you know that the games side of Warner Brothers, they are so thirsty for money. You know, like, they're money crazed. You know, like in terms of the DLC that they've released for Mortal Kombat. You know, you can tell that they're going to go down that kind of road for Mad Max, and if they're, well, they probably will, and I just think that they should at least release some mission DLC, and I don't even know if there is going to be any DLC for Mad Max. We have had absolutely no confirmation or even mention of DLC for Mad Max other than the car bodies. You know, that's another thing with Mad Max, is for how good a game, well, it's not that good a game, it was an okay game, but for like how big a game it was, you know, there's been barely anything going on with Avalanche recently on the Mad Max game page. You know, on the Twitter page for Mad Max, there has been no posts since like October last year. That's kind of ridiculous considering how, like, this game, you know, like Mad Max, how much it's inspired everything else. You'd think that a Mad Max game would be some hot property and everybody would be wanting to develop it and make some DLC for it, but obviously it's not. But you'd be thinking by how big Mad Max is and how big the following is, because it has got quite a big fan following actually, you'd expect it to have a lot more to offer, especially in terms of, you know, like missions. And you'd expect that they'd at least try and capitalise on that and make some DLC for it, because as much as I don't like having stuff cut out of my game and added into DLC, or as much as I don't like having a half-full game and then DLC that fills up that void, I would like DLC for this game because it just expands the game and it makes the game feel a lot more worth £60, which is what I paid for it originally. And if it had some more DLC, which, you know, you would have to pay for, it'd make the game feel much more like it was worth spending the money on. Because in terms of this game, if you spend full price like I did on release day, you'll be disappointed because there isn't much to do after you finish the main storyline. And considering there's games like Fallout 4 that cost the exact same amount of money, you know, it's pointless buying Mad Max, because Mad Max has got possibly like a quarter of the content that Fallout has. And that's another thing with Mad Max. It's Mad Max, the game, honestly, it is so beautiful. Like, here's the thing with this game, right? I don't know what kind of engine they use, but whatever, you know, even on console, this game looks fucking beautiful, you know, like, if it's at, like, you know, at a point where it's between night and day, you know, where the sun's starting to just set, and it's just when you can see the wasteland, it just looks amazing. And it is a wasteland, fair enough, it's just a desert, it should look good because it is a desert. It looks amazing. Like, seriously, the graphics in this game are amazing. They're so fucking good. And it's just such a shame that a game that's got such good graphics, it's got some pretty game-changing, like, some stuff that's game-changing in the game is probably like the whole car combat, because car combat in this game, it makes car combat in previous games feel like shit. Because in this game, you know, it feels meaty, especially with like the on-foot combat as well, you know, the hand-to-hand fighting. That feels really weighty and meaty, and it just feels it feels so good. You know, like, when you play the Batman games, you know, like, you feel like each punch has a lot of force behind it. That's what this game feels like, you know, each punch that you deliver to somebody, it feels like you actually have just punched them in the face and, like, knocked them the fuck out, you know? It feels like each punch has some weight behind it. It's just such a good game. You know, like, there's a lot of things that I could talk about, you know, like, there's different things I could talk about, but that'd make the video too long. Another thing is, with the base storyline, it's not exactly a spectacular story by anybody's standards, but for Mad Max, it's kind of like an average Mad Max story, because Mad Max, it doesn't have the most amazing, like, stories ever. You know, like, it just has, like, an average story of, like, something happening, and Max... You know, it's got a basic story, that's it. And I think if they added in DLC, they could definitely expand upon that. I mean, there's the Mad Max movies that already exist. They could just follow the same path as those and release Road Warrior DLC. You know, maybe if it takes place in like not in the game itself, but like if it takes place in like an alternate universe where you get to play as the Mel Gibson version of Max, and you could play as the Road Warrior. You know, not saying that like, they probably wouldn't have Mel Gibson in it, so it'd still be the current voice actor that they have for Max if he would do any more. You know, it'd be doing the missions in the style of the Road Warrior, you know, the way that movie goes, you know, it'd follow the events in the movie, and that'd be pretty cool. I would buy that. Even if it were £20, I would probably buy that DLC, because if it followed the exact story arc of the Road Warrior, I would love it. It'd be so good. But yeah, Mad Max, it's not exactly the best game ever, and I just feel like it's missing out so much, and that could be filled up with DLC, but I guess we'll just have to find out, because it is 2016, and the Mad Max Reddit forums, the overall, like, vibe I get from them is they feel like something big is coming in 2016 for Mad Max, but I kind of doubt that, because Mad Max hasn't had any updates for months now. I think it's only had maybe one... It's either had maybe, like, between 1 and 3 updates, that's it. You know, it's not had very many updates at all, and there is a lot of bugs that they still could fix. I mean, some people, like, said the example of Dying Light having some big DLC coming next year. I don't care much about Dying Light, I haven't read much about it, so I couldn't tell you. But apparently that shipped with a lot of bugs, those didn't get patched, and then they released some huge-ass DLC in the next year, or they have it coming for this year anyway, which is going to be pretty cool. But I hope that's what they do with Mad Max, because you know this game is yeah, it's missing quite a lot. And honestly, if I'm going to be completely honest, like my opinion, I don't think there's going to be any more DLC for this game. I think that's this game done. You know, because Avalanche haven't said anything on their Twitter about Mad Max. Well, not Avalanche's Twitter. I've said about like the Mad Max Twitter itself, you know, for the Mad Max game. There's been one tweet recently, and it was in December, and it was about the orchestra that done the music for Mad Max, and that's all there's been. So I doubt there will be any DLC. It would be awesome if there was, but this is just speculation, and it's speculation that probably won't come true, so don't get your hopes up. But yeah, Mad Max, it's not exactly the most perfect game ever. I kind of enjoyed it, but yeah, if you guys are wanting to play it, pick it up on G2E or Steam, whatever. Just try and find it for cheap. Don't spend too much money on it, because it's not worth that much money. It's maybe only worth £30 or $30 at the most. So yeah, if you can find it in the bundle with the Fury Road Blu-ray, if you don't own Fury Road yet, you should probably buy that, because it comes with a lot of the stuff for the game, you know, like the Steelbook, which comes with a poster for Mad Max. Basically it comes with the Ripper DLC, the big Steelbook case, the poster for Mad Max, which is quite a small poster. Don't expect a huge poster, and that's basically it. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. It's been the Lone Courier. Peace.